Gravity's Rainbow, Part 1, Chapter 14.2 Caged Animals. An analysis of Gravity's Rainbow, Part 1, Chapter 14.2 Gottfried, Katje, Pirates, Confusion, and the Dodos. The Past. Gottfried and Katje. Hansel has no desire to leave. Gretel cannot take him away. The witch can proceed with her plan. Gottfried is young, too young, so young that you see the blue of his skin still pulsing beneath. He sees her leave and can do nothing, wishes to do nothing but stay. His visions are warped by Blicero. Gottfried sees the same images, feels the same paranoia that she is watching, reporting, waiting for something to twist an inch too far to the left. And he sees that Blicero will succeed. Walk toward him with a blackened face of ash. Gottfried worships, kneels, and praises. He sees nothing but what is told to him to see. Blicero, however, has given him that inkling of hope. He has placed in his mind that after the war he could truly become something. He has come to believe that it is Blicero destined for the oven, that he himself is not anything but a person waiting to be thrown off and discarded. For he too, like Slothrop, has been conditioned. Quote, the word bitch, spoken now in a certain tone of voice, will give him an erection he cannot will down. End quote. Blicero has taken it all, every orifice stopped up, nothing will be released or spoken. Quote, not even by then his mouth's innocence to lose. End quote. It is the seeming first violation, yet in reality it is the last. It is taken and discarded. His voice is no more. Gottfried is afraid. He is here with Katje, quote, but they hardly ever speak. End quote. Does he want to be saved? Have we been lied to, told differently this entire time? Has he been led to hope, but not believe? To keep silent and not speak his wishes, only to be disappointed when she leaves? And when she leaves, all those hopes holed up in his head leave too. He is silent. Gottfried is the silent man, accepting their fate, even enjoying it at times. But there is the inner realization that the terror they are subjected to is unnatural, evil. Blicero was right, it turns out. Katje was a spy, an informant who was transmitting information from Blicero's rocket testing site, the Schutzstelle 3, to the British Air Force. But she could not tell them all. She did not give up the site's location. There seemed to be something still binding Katje to Blicero. Whether she truly hates him or not, or if she knows she has been manipulated, even she exhibits those same subservient qualities that have fully overtaken Gottfried. Blicero's technique can warp even the strongest minds. Quote, don't forget the real business of the war is buying and selling. The murdering and the violence are self-policing and can be entrusted to non-professionals. The mass nature of wartime death is useful in many ways. It serves as spectacle, as diversion from the real movements of the war. It provides raw material to be recorded into history, so that children may be taught history as sequences of violence, battle after battle, and be more prepared for the adult world. Best of all, mass deaths a stimulus to just ordinary folks, little fellows, to try and grab a piece of that pie while they're still here to gobble it up. The true war is a celebration of markets. End quote. It's the line that defines the novel, a novel set as an exploration into war without ever truly seeing war. Katje herself never sees the war as she is holed up with Blicero for its duration, only seeing the buttons that are pressed to launch the rocket into locations they will never see. We ourselves are blinded to those inner workings of the war, only seeing the outcome of each rocket strike, the blood and guts and emaciated corpses on TV and in the papers, never trying to peer at that information from behind the scenes. The money changing hands, the accumulation of products and goods and weapons, the value of the dollar climbing, the value of each life lost near nothing to them, being traded as another element of distraction or just an unimportant tally caught in the crossfire. But while they believe the person's life is unimportant, the idea is what matters. The fact that they can manipulate the viewer to feel, and if the viewer feels, then they will ignore everything else. They will cry out for the humanity, for peace. And when peace inevitably arrives again, purportedly that is, all will be silent. The person will be forgotten or will only be taught about as another heinous act with no reason, just pure hate. Those background machinations will continue on as ever before until they need another distraction. She does not know what they will do with the information. Could it save lives, end the strikes, or is it another means to an end, a means to obtain data, learn new feats of engineering to then use in return? And now she has nowhere left to go. Though, as Pirate suggests, maybe the White Visitation is a good next step. The present. Pirate, Katje, and Osby. This is where Pirate, long before he begins his steps towards self-realization, begins to doubt the plan, begins to even doubt his own sanity. Osby is too drugged up at the moment to see Pirate's struggle, jokes around like nothing in the world is the matter. Katje sits on watching, and the present passes back into the past. The past. The Dodos. She falls into a vision of her ancestor, Frans van der Groove, an explorer who, when he arrived in Mauritius, quote, systematically killed off the native dodos for reasons he could not explain. End quote. Frans meditates on his hatred for the species, wondering why and how they could be so hideous, leaving them, quote, to rot because he could not endure to eat their flesh. End quote. And yet he could not cope with his reason. It was not enough. In reality, Frans saw a species that reigned over a land and could not handle those implications. He was elect, and no elect of another land could exist without his permission. But were they elect, or are the concepts of elect and preterite entirely fabricated in the human realm, a structure of power that exists in worlds that have built these specific types of unnatural structures and have named them as a natural aspect of the universe? Without language, or at least the language of the elect, how can they draw out his compassion? Though it is not that they are unable to convey their dread and sadness, he simply is unwilling to hear it. He has set his mind to believe the story which has been told and told again, that he, adventurer and superior man, must take what is rightfully his. That the world is built on bloodshed and will progress with bloodshed, and even if it causes Frans the most utmost distress, even if he must learn to cope with the horrors he has brought about, it is something that had to be done, though he does not know why. This section maps over many of the moments within this novel: the Holocaust, the bringing of Western languages to a land where metaphor reigned supreme, in order to show the senselessness of these acts, how our ancestry and forefathers have claimed what is unrightfully theirs because they truly and honestly believe that it is all for them. The present. Pirate and Osby. Katje has gone off again, and now Pirate and Osby sit on the edge of their flat, watching over that land which the elect believe they own, and which Pirate is helping them keep. The spark that started his confusion. He does not get to revel in the spoils of what they have won or may win, and all whom he knows will suffer, so how can he justify what he is doing? The plan itself, that which he is trying to justify in his mind, is about as impossible to make sense of as it can get. It involves Grigori, the giant octopus that Pointsman had earlier on, and von Gogh's Schwarzkommando film depicting fake Africans developing their own rocket in an attempt to instill fear in the population for this group, while attempting to divert attention away from our friendly intelligence agencies. And as we close out the chapter, another connection is made. Grigori is being conditioned as well as he watches an unnamed Dutch woman on a screen. It seems that the White Visitation has found use for Katje after all. That's the end of Part 1, Chapter 14.2, and all of Chapter 14. So I'll see you next time for Part 1, Chapter 15. Another famous chapter, the Disgusting English Candy Drill. Thank you.